we're gonna do a fish, what do you call it? A fish pickle. It goes into jars and very nice to eat in the morning on toast and coffee. So about 2 kilos of fish. Try to take all the, I don't like the bloodshotted pieces. Take that out. Then I use Raj medium curry powder, oil to fry and so forth. Chutney. If you can get the chutney, the mango chutney, it's much nicer. Coriander, some fresh chilies that we're going to chop up, not too much. 6 onions, there's 8 onions here, just pour it like that. Brown sugar, turmeric, just going to give it a nice cloves, bay leaves, vinegar, and coarse salt. Right, so we're gonna, first what we're gonna do, we're gonna pour coarse salt on the fish. I like my fish salty. Let's get it out there. And then turn it nicely. Make sure the salt goes all over. The reason for the salt is to pull the moisture out of the fish. You don't want a soggy fish in your jar. You want a firm piece of fish. So it makes the fish go firm as well. The meat go firm if you pull out all the salt out. So there's no bones or anything like this. This was filleted and so forth. So once you've got that nicely done and so forth, then now the people will say, but it's salt. But you leave it for about half an hour, and then with a cloth you wipe all the salt off. So you won't have that much salt on it. I'm going to pick a couple of these young lemon tree leaves just for flavor. Wash them off a bit. Chop the onions using 6 onions. Put 3 onions in one, 3 onions in the other one. The one would be for the paste that goes over this fish, and the other one would be for the pickling in the vinegar. So in a bowl, little bowl, you'll take 3 tablespoons of curry powder, 2 tablespoons of turmeric, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I do 2.5. Mix it together. Add a little bit of water. This is cold water, so you don't get lumps in your things. Stir it to a paste. Well, I made sure that all my utensils was washed 4 times before I use, because some of them are going to an Indian friend of mine that's a Muslim. So just to respect his religion, I wash everything 4 times before I use it. And you add it into there. We've added this 1 liter of vinegar we brought to the boil, and we've added our curry powder, turmeric, sugar, and now to this I'm gonna add my lemon leaves and a few bay leaves. Stir it up. I'm gonna bring it up to the boil properly, and then I'm gonna add my 3 onions in here. Now that it's rice on the boil, put in your onions. Stir it up, and this can cook for a while. 15 minutes should be fine, just so the onions is nice and soft. This is the sauce that goes over the what we're going to make now. Once we fried that up, we make a sauce, and you put your fish in a bowl, and then you've got a paste that goes over it. Roll everything in a paste, and then you've got the sauce that goes over it. So for my paste of the onions that I'm preparing, I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of curry powder. To that we add our bay leaves, 12 cloves, and I've got 3 chilies that I chopped in finely. To that we add a little bit of vinegar, not much, just to dilute it and make a nice paste, and 2 tablespoons of chutney. Alright, so this we're going to mix up. And our oil is hot. It goes in the onions. We're gonna brown our onions. And then we'll add the paste. While this is still cooking. When I've got my paste and my sauce, I'm going to put it down, let it cool down, and then I'm going to fry my what's name. So what I'm going to do now is take off all of the salt. I make sure to let it burn a little bit like that, but not much. Don't want to overdo it. There's 3 or 4 pieces that does that. Just give that smoky, hickory taste to the onions, and that flavor will go a little bit better with pickle. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to get rid of the excess oil. We got rid of the excess oil, and in goes the paste. Paste in. Now we have to let the onions and the paste marry. This one went down to simmer. I set the pot down so it can simmer. But yeah. I think she's also right. I couldn't find a wooden spoon. Not the right thing to use as a metal spoon on this surface. What can you do? Now we're preparing for the frying. Got some oil inside there. Better to use lard if you can get. All the salt has been taken off the fish. You can sort of see how firm it is. It's twice as firm as what it was. Most of the moisture is out of it. Got a baking tray that's there. So from the oil goes in there. Once it's dripped out dry and no oil on it, we'll stack it on here. Then that goes over and that goes over. This is our sauce, and that is our paste. So let's continue. You cook it until it flakes nicely with a fork. Let it go nicely. And then we'll put it there to dry out. Still got a batch to go. To see whether it's right, it's got to fork nicely. So it's nearly ready to go. That was the thickest piece that I could find. See how nice it forks. So I'll give it another minute. I've tasted the piece and it's just got enough salt in it. So there it goes to get rid of the excess oil. Don't want to overcook it. Make sure all of the what's new is out. And let the oil regain its temperature. Then the next batch goes in. This is now the jars. It's going to stay for 2 days in the fridge, but I'm using coffee jars, Jacob coffee jars. This is the second time I'm washing them. Washed it the first time, took the labels out, washed it out, dried it out, goes back in, and then I repeat the process 4 times. And your surface area, everything needs to be washed 4 times, all the utensils and so forth. Then now, got my second batch frying there, and my first batch that I cooked, I'm gonna lay it nice and tight. The oil is drained off it. Second batch is done. Now we're gonna back it in here. Now that all the fish is done, we're gonna put the paste over. Once your paste is over, you go with the sauce. Even the sauce out. Let it rest in the fridge for 2 days. Every now and then, twice a day, you can turn it around. Just marry like that, and then it goes into the fridge. And it's done. Now just for bottling.